Welcome, everyone, to Better Every Day, where we're talking about wellness and self care.
I'm John,
And I'm Bianca.
and we're your hosts. And we're going to, like Bianca said, help you figure out ways to get just a little better every day. So, this is our first show, and we just wanted you to get to know us and why we're doing this. So, today we're just going to have a conversation about what brought us here and what our wellness journey is about. Maybe you can relate to it. So, Bianca, let's pretend like we don't really know each other. Okay.
Okay.
Let's like interview each other here.
Sure.
So, you've been a wellness professional for a while now.
Yes.
So, what brought you into the wellness industry?
Money.
Well, that is not the right answer because
I'm
we don't
just
make a lot of
kidding.
money.
I do know.
Yes.
Initially, though, I thought I would.
Yeah.
So I started as a front desk person at a local mom and pop spa here in town. And I realized that the happiest people that came out of a session were the people that received massages. So I said, I've only received one massage so far in my
Seriously?
life.
Only
Yes,
one?
only
Wow.
one. But I was really excited to explore what massage really was and what it was about. So I scheduled an appointment to go take a look at the massage school that I ended up choosing and signed up that same day. And they had a class starting that next week. So I said, well, I guess I'm going full time. I quit my job and I went to massage school.
Serendipitous. Yep.
That's it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, we're based here in Las Vegas. I'm assuming you went to massage school in Vegas.
I did.
How long ago was that?
In 2004, I graduated from massage school in May, and then I was licensed in June.
So, you've been a therapist now for over 20 years.
Yeah, it's been 21 years.
Wow. So, you initially got into it because you liked seeing people feel better, right?
Correct.
Is that why you stayed in it? Because 20 years is a long time. Because usually therapists, we don't have a lot of longevity in this business. I think 2 years is usually the maximum people stay, which is kind of a sad state of affairs. But 20 years, so what kept you in it?
Well, I think it's the idea that I could also influence other massage therapists or new massage therapists, and being a mentor of some sort meant something special to me. So I decided instead of just grinding out massage after massage, working hard every day, I decided that I was going to switch it up and throw some other things in there, like teaching. And I became the faculty coordinator at the school that I graduated from, because I also had a degree. So there was a whole life before my massage world in the 21 years. So my initial degree was in communications from Ohio University.
Okay.
So I knew what I could do with a little bit of massage and a little bit of education background, and I just used it to my advantage. So I think that what kept me here for 21 years would be that flexibility, because I've done everything that you can do in the massage industry. So I think the flexibility of it all is what kept me instead of just doing massage straight day after day for 21 years. And bless those that do, but that's not me.
I hear you. I hear you, definitely.
Yeah.
So, were you originally from Vegas?
Nope. I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio.
Nice.
As I mentioned, I went to school in my undergrad was at Ohio University in Athens, Ohio. And I decided I didn't want to be in Ohio anymore. After,
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I mean, I love where I'm
What else?
from,
Yeah.
but as you all know, everybody leaves. Cleveland is not the place where people stay forever. When it comes to moving out and branching out, Ohio is, to me, I often say it's like going backwards in time when I go visit. So I needed something a little more progressive. Plus, the weather kicked me out of there, if I'm being quite honest.
Yeah, I could see that for sure.
Yeah. So um, that at the last
I
of
was
it,
just
it
gonna
was
say, how do you think Ohio compares to Nevada when it comes to wellness?
I think a lot of Ohio's background has to do with the medical field. Even the massage department out there is under the umbrella of the medical department. So everything in Ohio, I'd like to say is more medical more than it is wellness. And there's, unfortunately, to me, there's a division there. There's a line between holistic wellness and our Western medical system that we have here established. So if you think about it, Cleveland Clinic, there's a number of medical schools in Cleveland alone and different programs that people will, I guess, be drawn to
Right.
in Ohio. So I think the wellness scene is a little bit different out there than it is here. West Coasters have a different mentality from what I've experienced when it comes to wellness
Yeah, I
and
would agree.
holistics. Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, I have questions for you
All
too.
right, I've got answers, hopefully.
Okay. So, since we started with what got me into wellness and the wellness journey, would you mind sharing how you got started in this? Because
Sure.
I know there's something different going on.
Well, I refer to this as my second act career. I actually spent over 25 years in the entertainment industry. And during COVID, like a lot of people, there was a lot of changes going on, especially in our industry. At the time, I was working on 8 different shows that were all on the strip, uh, a lot of different attractions. Everything shut down overnight. And so I thought, maybe it's time to start thinking about doing something a little different. And I've always been drawn to the wellness industry, more from a psychological standpoint. I love mental health, and that's been really important to me. Um, just how people think, how they maneuver through life, how they handle challenges. I'm fascinated by resiliency. What makes a person more resilient than somebody else? Is it something that we learn, or is it something that a skill that we acquire as we move through life? So initially, I was one of those guys in entertainment that when anyone had a sore neck or something, they'd say, "Oh, go to John. He's really good at that." So it's sort of a natural skill to do kind of manual therapy, massage therapy. I knew I didn't really want to do anything like in a spa or something. That's not really my calling. So during COVID, went back to school. I went to massage school actually in Southern California at one of the oldest massage schools that specializes in sports and medical massage, which was right up my alley. So I did that for a year, finished that, but it actually left me with more questions than answers because again, I was so interested in the mental health side of it. And I noticed that when people are in the place where you're getting into their nervous system, you're hopefully getting them to a place of homeostasis, which is the place where your body is just the most in balance, that it also is an opportunity for people to start getting into stuff going on in their head or not.
Interesting.
And so I went to my instructors in the school and said, "Hey, I'm noticing people, from time to time, I would see somebody would have a breakdown on the table, start crying, or have a very happy response, a very happy emotional response." And I said, "What's going on?" And they said, "Oh, no, we're massage therapists. We don't get into that." So I started doing my own research and realized that there was more research going on about what happens when people are going through a manual therapy experience, what happens from a mental standpoint. And so that led me to want to explore more. So from there, I went and earned a certification from the National Association of Sports Medicine in wellness. So I'm actually a certified wellness coach as well, where I learned nutrition, mental health, um, movement, all of the things that go into making a person hopefully live a healthier life.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it just opened even more questions for me. So then I decided, hey, I'm going to go for broke. I returned to school and I'm working on a graduate degree in psychology so that I can kind of combine everything. And I've learned that somatic therapy is kind of the right field for me because it combines touch with counseling and mental health and all those things. And as we get deeper into our shows here, we'll get more and more into that, as I know we will, your background as well and how all that comes to play. But I've just found, as much as I loved working in the entertainment industry, and I had some really great experiences, worked with some amazing people, which again we'll talk about as the show goes on. Um, I love making people feel better. And it's not me, it's them.
Right.
I'm just helping to facilitate that
That's
as
right.
you do as a massage therapist as well, and all the other things that you do. It's amazing what our bodies can do, what our brains are capable of doing. And so we are, it's a gift that we're given
Absolutely.
that somebody allows us to get into their life and helps them figure out how to be better, how to be healthier. Because at the end of the day, that's what we all want. We all want to live healthier, happier lives.
We want to be better every day.
Exactly. What a great name for a show.
So it sounds like you said this was a career change. This sounds like 3 careers in one. So, how do you merge massage with somatic therapy and the wellness certificate that you have? Like the certifications, I know can be endless sometimes. So you can be an expert in many things, which is great.
Right.
But how are you going to marry those together?
So when I started on the journey and started in massage school first, recognizing the body, we only have one body, and we all respond to all the stimuli that comes to our body. And so many people are living with so much pain. And most pain is something that you had an injury, um, something's happened, and it's you have to go through the recovery process, hopefully. And some people live with pain their whole life.
Right.
That a big part of this, we've had an epidemic of people taking pain medications because they're living with this constant
Right.
pain in their life, which is unbearable. And so a great part of what we do, as you know, in massage therapy is we get into the nervous system and we help reprogram it basically. With obviously the person doing the work, we're just helping again facilitate that. But by reprogramming the nervous system, we can get people to a place where they have a lot less pain. Sometimes no pain,
Right.
because you're able to tell the body, because pain is a response to, it's a great thing. It's hey, don't touch a hot stove.
Right.
I got injured, and your body wants to remember that experience so that it doesn't happen again. So it's a self protection, which is vital to our survival. It's something that we have to do.
Just like inflammation, it's
Inflammation, exactly. But we get stuck in that loop. So it's coming out of entertainment, working with dancers my whole life, muscle memory. That's how dancers remember choreography. Well, pain works in a similar way. It becomes muscle memory, basically, or cellular memory, where the pain happened and it just keeps repeating itself over and over again. And even though the stimulus that initially caused it is gone. And so part of what we do is to rechannel that, redirect it so that we stop those signals and say, you're okay, calm down, muscle or tendon or ligament or whatever's going on that's causing the pain.
So are you speaking directly to the ligament?
Exactly. Get right in there.
Right. We're going to call you the ligament whisperer now.
My clients love it. I was like, when I find everyone likes to talk about knots, and we'll get more into that.
Oh, yeah.
What a knot is or what it isn't.
Right.
But you find, I call them speed bumps.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, oh, look, we found a speed bump.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can do to kind of minimize that.
Keep going.
Yeah,
I got a few in there. That's all
so
good.
Basically, as I went through the manual therapy part, which is very physical, I realized that so much of it is mental.
Yes.
As we know, and again, getting into the nervous system and how the brain reacts and responds to that pain stimulus.
Right.
And it can also be something that's happened in your past from a mental standpoint that causes you a lot of pain. And then that can result in physical pain. So we know if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling anxious, if you have PTSD, if you have high anxiety, that can definitely result into illness in the body.
Right.
So that is really what became great interest to me, is how we get to that place, and is there ways that the individual can do self-care to help mitigate some of that.
Okay, so first we start with the massage. Then when I'm in your care, I can start with the massage, and then we can talk about nutrition and wellness and holistics. Plus, I'm no athlete, but I get injured.
I've seen you play pickleball, girl.
So oh boy,
we're gonna be talking about that in the next episode.
Yes, we are. And don't judge me. Again, this is my disclaimer. I'm no athlete, but every once in a while you'll see everyday injuries, low back or somebody that drives a lot or people on their phones and computers. Do you think that that has something to do with or how can you, I guess is my question, how can you put all of those things together for the average person that's injured? I know athletes have their own way of thinking. That mentality is not my own.
Right.
So I say that because they have a nutrition plan. Usually they go work out every day. They focus on their activity or their favorite sport. I don't do that. But every once in a while, my back hurts and my feet hurt from standing and washing dishes or driving around or being on my computer for too long. So, how do you help the average person like me?
So when we were first talking about your background and the difference between Western medicine and more, some people call it Eastern medicine or more holistic approach, I'm a firm believer in both combining. But one of the challenges that I think we face in most Western medicine is that it's very focused on one particular issue. So if you go in with lower back pain, and you go to a typical, and this is no offense to any of the brilliant physicians and medical professionals that are out there, but their training is to focus on that condition. So is it bad enough that we need to do some kind of procedure? Do we need to do surgery? Do we need to do something to mitigate the pain in that area? Or is it something we can medicate? Or perhaps refer out to like a physical therapist for kind of structural realignment or a chiropractor or somebody like that. As I got into my studies, I see that it's a combination of both the physical and the mental, and I think too often we separate the two.
Okay.
People like to think the brain is its own little capsule and it runs independently from the body. And now, as we're learning more about how the brain works, and especially with like the connection to the gut, and we'll be talking a lot about gut biome and how that's considered almost a second brain.
Yes.
And that whole idea of when you feel something in your gut, it's actually talking to your brain and back and forth. So all of your cells are communicating with your brain and your brain back. It's not like your brain is in control all the time. Your body can be in control, and it's just your brain is then responding to the stimuli that it's getting from your body. So by making that connection, I think it's like the difference between, and again, we are not medical professionals, we're holistic professionals. And so take what we say with a grain of salt, of course, and always consult with a medical professional if you have specific questions.
Right.
But it's the difference between an MD and a DO, a doctor of osteopathic medicine. So a DO is a doctor who spends a little bit more time in training, a couple more years actually. And what they do is they look at the whole person. So if you go in with back pain, they're certainly going to help you focus on that, but they're going to start to help you determine what's going on in your life. Is it the way you're washing dishes that's causing the problem? Or maybe it's something else going on. Maybe it's the way you're not sitting in an ergonomic chair at work. Maybe you especially, we're here in Vegas, so many people have jobs that require them to be on their feet all the time.
Right.
As a dealer or somebody working in the hospitality industry, is it because you're spending 8 or 10 hours a day on your feet? Is it something to do with your posture?
Yes, all of those things.
So yes, we look at all of that.
Yeah.
We don't just focus on that specific issue.
I gotcha.
So I guess that's where my interest lies. I'm more of a science guy. So I look at the whole picture and I want to know what's going on, and is there a way that you can fix it, and is it something I can do to help?
Awesome.
That was a long-winded answer.
But it was an answer nonetheless. So science guy, I like that you said that, because while I'm rooted in science, because I think you know that I originally went to school for engineering. Have mercy. Bless you all. But at the same time, I am a little bit on the other side of that. And I'm a little more energetic, spiritual. I like the softer side of the unexplained.
Yep.
So I get where you're coming from, because there is a way to marry those things together. If the brain is talking to the body and the body is responding in pain, then a massage therapist, a holistic practitioner, a wellness self-care expert would be the way to go for me. I get that.
So explain to me on that side,
Oh.
what's how does that complement or how does it differ from kind of more the Western approach to therapy?
Yeah, so I think some of the esoteric ways of being have been not explained too well in general, but it also leaves a lot of guesswork. It leaves a lot to the imagination because in energetic work, everybody's different and what you'll experience may be different. Some things might make sense, some things might not make sense, or maybe not in that moment. And then 3 hours later, you're thinking about something completely different and it just hits you all of a sudden. And it's just like how you said that the butterflies in your stomach and your gut health and all of that, that energy comes from somewhere. And so I was curious on where the energy is coming from. What makes that happen? I know it's not just chemicals and hormones only, because it shouldn't just happen that way. I needed to find a another reason behind the science that maybe proved what I was feeling or what people have experienced in my sessions as a massage therapist. But I also wanted to know for myself, is this something that I can influence or be in charge of, or even, I know manipulate is a bad word to some people, but to manipulate it to my benefit.
Sure.
Because I want the money, I want the abundance, I want the sunshine and the happiness and the great life that you kind of dream up in your head. And so I thought, if I can't get it scientifically, I'm going to try energetically and see what happens there. So it's not, everything that I do is not necessarily based in a religion. It's more spirituality. So you may have heard, a difference between spirituality and religion.
Sure.
Or some type of separation there. So I do make sure that I acknowledge the different religions of the world, because there are quite a few.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, some of the practices are connected to certain religions. And I wanted to explore that as well. So my very first introduction was into Reiki, which is an energetic way of looking at the body, and it's a treatment protocol where, if nothing else, you'll get on the table or sit in a massage chair and you'll end up relaxed. If that's the worst that can happen, so be it. But I was very curious, so I sought out, initially, because I also needed continuing education. So I sought out a Reiki master, and I have been a Reiki master now ever since 2012.
Well, and I think science would back up that we are energy.
Right.
Energy flows through us. Energy is what makes cells grow and simulate. It's what heals us. So I think there's definitely some complementary stuff going on.
Yeah.
I mean, we might be a little yin and yang here together with the more spiritual side, the more science side.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to find, and you're going to see in our conversations, that there's definitely a lot of areas that complement each other.
Absolutely.
You're going to see that I'm going to, as we bring in different guests, I might be a little bit more challenging about medical and science side of things. You might be questioning the spiritual side of things and
Right.
how that plays.
Right, into the day to day. Because again, the idea is to get better every day. And be it you use Western medicine or holistic practices or spiritual and energy work, as long as you get better every day, that's the goal. Right? So a lot of times we walk around with everything that we've been through on our chest and our brains, carrying it with us without knowing that you have so much weighing on you that you can't think straight. And then you start saying things like, "Oh, this is such a headache." And then you wonder why you get headaches. Mm-hmm. So, bringing attention to all of these things, even the words that you use and how you say things and how you maneuver throughout the day, maybe it's going to lead me to an ergonomic chair and then I'll feel better, or one of those cushion mats to stand on while I'm doing dishes. That's a great idea. But I feel like complimenting each other in that way is a way to help the other people that are with us understand that there's a way, and then there may be another way too.
For sure.
Try it out and see what happens.
Yeah, I always joke with my clients that I'm not the typical hippy dippy
Yeah,
massage therapist.
would be me.
I don't have the classic studio space with a lot of different symbolism that you see in a lot of spas and things like
Right.
that, because I'm more focused on, again, how the body works and how the brain works. But I also realize how important the spiritual side is. And again, it's not about a religion.
Right.
It's about spirituality, because we are spiritual beings, and that's a big part of how our brains work. Um, I think that gives us something to believe in, and it also, when it comes to healing, it's so powerful.
Right.
You've seen it, I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, what was your wake up call to get
Ooh.
into that side of the wellness industry?
I think it was missing my family, actually.
Yep.
I heard that Reiki had in level 2, there was a way to send energy from a distance. And I wanted to practice. I wanted to see if I can do it. Come to think about it, that's why I start a lot of things. I want to see if I'm good at it.
Mm-hmm.
I am a Capricorn, so I think I'm good at everything, which I'm pretty much good at everything. But
Did we say she's a diva?
no, not yet.
Wellness diva.
Yes, but as a curious person, I wanted to know how to do that, and I wanted to experiment with it to see if I can be out here, 2,000 miles away from my family, and for them to think about me or feel my energy or receive what I'm putting out there. And I
Mm-hmm.
just became intrigued by it, and so I wanted to learn. I
It's
wanted
very
to know
cool.
more. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it does work.
Yeah.
It freaks me out almost every time, but it works.
So, I often joke with Bianca that she has a way of getting into my head. She doesn't always reveal it. So there is something to it, because she'll
Hmm.
have these ideas and all of a sudden it becomes my idea or our idea. So, yes, there's definitely some power in that. Um,
Yeah.
and also, you can already tell she is the most positive, great energy person to be around. And it's so important to be around people that make you feel good. So, if nothing
I
else,
agree.
just being around somebody who is a light and makes you feel good about yourself and your wellness journey.
Well, as they say, light does attract more light.
It's
So
true.
I know that I could only be seen because you were also showing your light and recognizing the light that I have in me. So, and when I say light, again, that's just energy, right? So if we're paying attention and you're feeling how you should feel in a day, not carrying around all of the worries and the stress, but if you're actually feeling how you should feel as a whole person, be it mind, body, spirit, the whole thing, then you can see those people a little bit better. You can recognize where maybe your energy needs to go, and then you
Mhm.
go there. Maybe you'll feel better.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, coming out of a very stressful industry, most people think the entertainment industry is very glamorous, and there are definitely glamorous moments. But at the end of the day, it's show business. It's a business, and there's lots of parts and pieces that need to be managed. Lots of divas that need to be kept happy and in their best performance state at all times.
Sure.
And so my day would start early in the morning with my phone blowing up with meeting requests and proposals need to be out and box office reports and casting notices and all the things that we deal with in entertainment. And I'd go late into the night because I'd be attending live shows and things like that. So my sleep cycle was off, my nutrition wasn't the best, constant just mental and emotional drains because you have so many, like I said, pieces that you're thinking about. And so COVID for many people, I always say it was a like a big reset. It was
Yeah.
it was that commercial where they have the stop button or the reset button or on your computer, a reset. It
Mm-hmm.
just gave us all just this chance to just stop, kind of collect our thoughts. If there was anything that good that came out of it, I think it was that. And it got me realizing, is this all there is to life? Is it just about being on this constant treadmill? And because I felt so grateful to be in that industry, and so few people get that opportunity, and so many people would love to work in that industry, I felt almost like, what's wrong with me? That I would even consider changing. But having 3 migraines a week, or I should say a week sometimes, and just constant stress, just got to a point where life wasn't worth it.
Right.
And I sort of think there must be more. I've always been a fan of massage. I had definitely had massages. That was one of the things that kept me going and kept me being less stressful in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And so I always admired the skills, especially of a really good therapist. And definitely I've always been interested in what people do from a holistic standpoint, because I do think, and more Western medicine is embracing more holistic styles as well, because we see that breathing, yoga, different forms of exercise, all of those things complement a wellness program. I love that, in the 80s, for those of you who are old enough to remember the 80s, they always used to say, you don't need to sleep when you're dead, and it was this drive all the time to just go,
fight for the right to party.
And it continued. Yeah. It was like, just keep going. And now the message is the opposite. It's like, it's so important to make sure you get enough sleep, that you make sure your sleep cycles are regular,
right,
that you make sure you're getting proper nutrition, hydration. We always talk about hydration here in the desert, but it's so important anywhere you live. All of those things now are becoming basic tenets for everybody to know that that's the way that you live a better life. And so it's so great that we get to do that and share that. And what you're going to see in future programs is we're going to be bringing in guests every week.
Yep.
We're going to be talking with people, I should say, that represent all kinds of different backgrounds, from traditional wellness to non-traditional.
The esoteric.
We're going to be learning about it together.
Yes.
And we're going to be sharing that with you. We're also going to be challenging it. Again, science guy here. So I want to know what this is about. And is it really something that's proven? Is it more of a pseudoscience? What's going on here? But at the end of the day, we also recognize that all forms of wellness, unless it's something that can hurt you, and thankfully there's not too much of that, but all forms of wellness benefit you at some level.
Right.
Because again, it's you.
Right.
You're the one who's.
That's it.
It's got to work for you. You got to believe it. You got to make it work.
Yeah, we have a 3-point system where if you are not into it, the body won't be into it, and then the therapist can't do their work. So
exactly.
We can only do what we can do. And that's pretty much the way that I believe for a number of therapies that are out there, because you have to be willing to take it on and accept the change and integrate the change and make it a part of your life in order for it to be beneficial, or the maximum level of benefiting from whatever therapy you decide.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we both had this experience where clients will come in and they're injured and they say, just fix me. Just my shoulder hurts, my back hurts, something's my leg, something's going on, fix me. Mm-hmm. And the first thing I say is, I can't fix you. That's not my job. Right. Only you can fix you. I can help facilitate that. And there's certain tricks that we have, and a lot of training that helps us to facilitate that. But at the end of the day, only you can fix yourself. So that's where the whole mind-body connection comes in.
Yeah.
So we'd like to talk about this a little bit more, but let's take a quick break, and we'll get right back to you.
The Showgirl Legacy Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to preserving the historic significance of the iconic showgirl as a performing artist. We achieve this through curriculum-based educational programs in partnership with the Las Vegas Academy of the Arts. The program includes a panel of entertainers and showgirls modeling authentic costumes for the visual arts students to paint. The students submit their artwork to the Showgirl Art Competition that becomes the annual Showgirl Art and Costume Exhibit. The foundation also represents guest speakers that give historical presentations about the Las Vegas stage show spectaculars and their personal experiences. The speaker brings authentic show costumes for photo ops and tailors their presentations for conferences, conventions, luncheons, museums, and other venues. Recently added to the Foundation's repertoire is the talk show The Showgirl Connection with your host, Luann. She interviews former and current showgirls, dancers, entertainers, and all the people behind the scenes that make the magic happen. The Showgirl Connection wouldn't be possible without the partnership and support of WWDBTV and owner John Stiles. Learn more about us at showgirllegacy.org and castandcrewreunion.com. For questions, email us at info@showgirllegacy.org.
Welcome back. We're going to continue our conversation. On our show today, we're talking everything self-care and wellness to just introduce you to who we are. And I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to know, what do you think, or how would you define being better every day?
It's a good question. And you and I have both talked a lot about this, so I hope I'm speaking for both of us when I say it's the idea that sometimes when people set out on a wellness journey, it's like they want to conquer everything immediately. So if you decide, I need to go on a diet, I want to lose weight, for instance, you find a diet that you think is going to work for you, and then right away you want to jump in and it's like, I want to lose 20 pounds in the first week. Your doctor tells you your cholesterol level is too high, so you want to right away lower it, or your sugar levels are too high, so you want to cut out sugar. What most studies show, and we see as wellness professionals, is that when you jump into something too heavy too fast, it typically doesn't work. We've all had that experience with dieting. You diet, you'll lose some pounds, you get excited about it, but very quickly you get it back because you either fall off or just life gets in the way.
Yeah, get it back double.
Exactly. You did really well for 2 weeks, and then you get invited to the church potluck.
Yep.
And everybody wants you to try their dish. And the 10 pounds you lost, you suddenly just put back on. Or you're having a bad emotional week. Mm. And we all do this, go into the freezer and eat a pint of ice cream, and now your sugar level spikes. So in our experience, and again, the research confirms this, doing little changes every day, as small as they may seem, just little changes really add up to making a big difference. And then you're less likely to feel defeated if it doesn't work. And so the idea of just being a little happier every day, a little healthier every day, and it could just be something really minor. When I talk to my clients, I say, you may love chicken fingers, and you may love eating chicken fingers every day, but maybe if we back off and let's skip one day, let's replace one day of chicken fingers with a salad. Just one day, simple little change. Well, I don't like salad. I don't like vegetables. Well, let's find some vegetables that you do like. Is there any vegetables that you like? So again, it's little steps, because all those little steps quickly add up to major changes in your life. So that's what this is about. It's about just getting better a little bit every day, and it's being realistic about it, because life gets in the way.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes I need emotional support French fries. So
we all do. We all do.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, you and I have spent a lot of time thinking about this. And
we have.
I think we're on the same page. But for you in your life, how do you define wellness?
So overall, I think it is really connecting the body, the mind, and the spirit together. Because I remember when I went to hypnosis school, they talked about the theory of the mind. And I kind of didn't really pay attention to it until it was explained to me in that way, that there's a piece of the brain, literally, that you'll take things in and it will just dump it all out. If you don't find it important, if you don't want to hold on to the information, it comes in, it goes out. And then there's another part where information comes in and it sticks. And I wanted to know why. Because things stick in my head like song lyrics also.
Isn't it amazing you can remember a song lyric from like your childhood?
It is. And I don't really understand how that happens, uh, aside from reading, the versions of it that are out there for the many different types of hypnosis, even, and the theories of the mind and how that all works. But to me, that is a huge part of the wellness journey, because your brain will believe whatever you tell it, essentially.
Yep.
That's the way that I believe it to be. And if your brain is going to believe whatever you say, and you say that you want to be healthy or start a wellness or self-care journey, then that's the first thing that you need to do, is convince yourself by telling your brain, this is my journey. This is what I want to do. This is how I want to take care of myself. And so the brain body connection is the wellness journey to me. Now you throw in a little bit of spirituality and the what I like to call the woo woo stuff, and then I feel like that's a whole person. So to me, it is the body. So even being a massage therapist of 21 years, obviously I have an affinity for taking care of the body and helping people in that way. But like you said, that's only a piece of the puzzle.
Right.
So the wellness journey and defining wellness includes all of those things: the mind, the body, the spirit, your energy, how you present yourself to the world. All of those things, I think, define the wellness whole package for me.
I love that. Yeah. Because I love in something in psychology we talk about a lot is if a friend or a family member comes to you and has an issue, maybe a wellness related issue or mental health related issue, how you respond to that person, how you tell them, or help guide them, versus how we talk to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We are not very kind to ourselves sometimes.
A lot of times.
We are our worst critics. We are very, very hard on ourselves. And we would never talk to a good friend or family member that way.
No.
So when you say it's about the mind's body connection, it's so true. And it's rethinking how we talk to ourselves. And that's what goes into the whole idea of self-care, that we have to make ourselves a priority. There's so many demands in our lives. You're a mom.
I am.
I'm a dog dad.
Yeah.
I get it. We have a lot of
demands plenty.
pulling on us.
Mm.
And sometimes it's hard to say, I need to take some time for myself.
Right.
And it feels selfish sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's something we're going to spend some time talking about on this show, because self-care is not selfish.
Right.
If you don't take care of yourself and you're not in your optimum healthy place, how can you possibly be there to take care of other people,
right,
or dogs,
right,
or jobs,
whatever,
and all the other responsibilities we
yeah,
have? So if you don't get anything out of this show other than the fact that self-care is not a selfish act, it's actually one of the best things you can do, not just for yourself, but for everybody in your life and all the responsibilities that you have.
And if you want to believe that it's selfish, you can, because why not be a little selfish with your time? If that's going to help your mental health,
Yep.
if that's going to help your well-being, be selfish.
Exactly.
But be kind.
Yes.
And that's important too.
Always be kind.
Yeah.
Especially to yourself.
Absolutely.
Is there any self-care practices that you just can't live without?
I think this show is going to reveal some things to me about self-care and wellness. So I don't want to put myself in a box, but holy smokes, I would love to be on a massage table at least once a week. Unfortunately for me, it doesn't happen that way.
Right.
Because we're always so busy doing other things. But in the meantime, or in between my massages, the one self-care thing that I make sure to practice is taking a bath. Yeah. I love taking baths. And now that I'm an adult, I get to use as many bubbles as I want. And I can use bath bombs, and I can color my water, and I can put oils and things in there. Yep. I can even put flowers if I'm feeling
romantic.
There are some scientific reasons why you would want to use flowers and herbs in the bath. So we can get into that later.
Aromatherapy.
That's
absolutely.
absolutely.
That's big. And there's
So
science to back it up.
there is. So we're marrying the two together. We're
Yep.
coming together. Where I like to do those things. I know some people don't like to just sit in a bathtub, but to me, it's very relaxing. Helps me reset a bit, and then it kind of puts me on my way. Maybe so that I'm a lot more relatable to other people. How about you?
There's something about water, and I agree with. I like baths too.
Yeah.
I'm a big guy. I'm 6'5", so I don't fit in a lot of bathtubs. So
Uh-huh.
that's only part of me's in that bathtub. But man, I love water therapy.
Yeah.
I love being in a hot tub, a steam room, swimming. There's just something that it clears your mind, it clears your soul, and it feels good. You know, it's
It does.
taking the pressure of gravity off of your body, so
Right.
it always feels good.
It does. So, what's one self-care practice that you can't live without?
Well, I was going to say the massage thing. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
And going to massage school, you know, we both went to massage school. One of the best things about massage school is you get a massage every day. Because that's part of your training.
Right.
And so we'd have lectures in the morning, and every afternoon we'd go into a lab setting and we'd work on each other.
Yep.
Oh my God. And I thought, this is the life. Then you get out of massage school and you spend your life caring for other people, and that goes by the wayside, unfortunately. But I agree, massage, if I had the ability to do massage every week, for sure, just because it just puts you in that homeostasis place. Homeostasis, yes.
Yes.
And it just calms your nervous system down.
Right.
But aside from that, baths, definitely, for me, it's walking.
Oh, nice.
I love being out in nature.
I was going to say, is that outdoors? Because we are here in Vegas,
yeah.
and it is hot.
Even when it's hot, I just love being outside. Gyms are okay. You know, I see the benefits of elliptical and treadmills and all that. Definitely support that if that's what you like and it's getting you to move. But I just love being outside. I love feeling grounded. I love, when I go out for a walk, I put my phone aside. I might be with my dog, usually with my dogs. But it just gives me an opportunity to just pay attention to what's going on in the world. I love seeing the changing even here in the desert, you know.
Things do change out here.
Things change. They do. And animals come out. And I love seeing the hummingbirds at certain times of year. And we get butterflies and different insects. And just stopping to take that all in and to breathe, hopefully some good air.
Yeah.
So for me,
depends on the day.
I got to walk every day.
Good.
Got to walk.
Now, you're the science guy, and you just said grounded.
Yes.
That's something that I talk about a lot, too. So we'll have to discuss.
We will delve into grounding for sure.
Very nice. Well, I think we're nearing the end of the show. So,
yeah, we thought this was going to be probably about half an hour, and we're looking at the clock. And I think it's a little bit longer than half an hour. So you can tell we got some stuff to talk about.
Right. Which means that the conversations will just continue.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
what do you hope that our viewers are going to take away from our video podcast here?
I'm really excited that they will get to know us by getting to know our guests and people that we have on the show. I'm really excited to cover, I can't even describe the list that I have right now of potential guests and topics to talk about. I'm really excited about that. And then I'm curious. So I want to know what they want to know. So what is it? What do you want to know? I want to know. I'm like a lifelong learner. So I think that the only way for me to understand what I want them to experience is by talking to our people and finding out what they do and how they can incorporate these practices in being better.
For sure.
Every day.
Yeah, I don't know about you all, but we all get overwhelmed by the amount of wellness information that comes out. Now it's on our phones and our news feeds, on our social media feeds. It seems like every day someone's coming out with a new trend, a new diet recommendation, a new movement recommendation. And it's just cutting through that can be challenging because they often contradict each other. You know,
right.
One day this food is good for you and the next day it's not.
Oh.
One day this movement is the best possible movement and the next day, no, you're going to injure yourself doing that.
Right.
So we're going to hopefully cut through some of that clutter And we're going to take a deep dive into some of those subjects and say, is this really something that we need to invest our time into? Or is it something that we don't need to focus on as much? So that's my hope. My hope is that people, like you said, we're lifelong learners. We hope our viewers are lifelong learners as well and appreciate what we're handing out. So we want you to know that in addition to our website, in addition to our podcast here, we've also got a website that you can tune into, and it's Better Every Day. Actually, we're going to put it up on the screen for you. So yes, we've got a website. And it goes under Better. If you Google Better Every Day video podcast, you'll come in touch with that website. But we'll have that posted on here for you, and we'll also put our phone number on there too if you want to get a hold of us, and our email address. If you have any suggestions for future guests, if there's topics that you're interested in, please let us know, because we're definitely open to that. We'd love to hear what you have to say about your wellness journey. And if you have any questions, we'll also be posting on our website information about upcoming topics. And so you always have an opportunity to put some questions in there that we can pose our guest when they're on the show. So we'll have timelines and things like that you can follow. And as we go through this process, I'm sure we'll figure out more and more ways that you can interact with us as part of your wellness journey. So,
with that, we'll say thank you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to my co-host, John, here. And thanks to John, also here with WWDBTV. We appreciate your time. We look forward to seeing you again.
We definitely do. And we look forward to sharing with all of you this wellness journey and working so hard to figure out how to get better and healthy.
And together, we can get better every day.
Yes, we can.